What's up, world? How y'all doing out there? It's your boy Kelvin coming at you. Salute to everybody out there, man. Hope y'all doing well and blessed out there, man. All right, man. Just want to speak on something real quick. I want to talk about this topic of Michael Jordan and LeBron James. I saw a couple other YouTubers talking about it, so I just want to give my 2 cents on it. And you know, I'm probably more the super pro Michael Jordan guy on our channel, so I just thought I would give my comments and thoughts on it real quick about this clip that's going around. The guy, I think his name Craig Carlson, he's somewhere in the East Coast, and he's having a conversation with a guy from Chicago. This new guy on the scene, he's a LeBron guy, and basically he tells him that there's no way you can be a Michael Jordan supporter and a LeBron James supporter. And so I just want to get my thoughts on that real quick. Can you be a true Michael Jordan fan and a LeBron James fan? In my personal opinion, just my opinion, no. Not if you're a true basketball fan and a long-time fan of Michael Jordan, especially fans like myself and others that actually grew up and watched Michael Jordan in his career, in his prime in the 80s and 90s, and you saw the journey, and you saw his whole career. I do not believe that you can be a serious Michael Jordan fan and a LeBron James fan. I just do not believe that. Now, if you're a casual, you're not really a hardcore fan, you like basketball, you just watch it every now and then, I guess you can. And maybe if you're a younger fan that you really didn't grow up watching Michael Jordan, maybe you caught the tail end of his career, maybe you just saw the Wizards years, or maybe you're a younger fan that grew up watching Kobe or LeBron, and you went back and you watched some old games or some footage and you became a fan of Michael Jordan. I guess maybe you could be a fan of both, but I do not believe the people who actually grew up and understood the mindset and the journey of Michael Jordan and what he was about can truly be a fan of LeBron James also. I just do not believe that, because their whole line of thinking and LeBron James, his whole mindset, it's just fundamentally opposite. And it carries over into real life also. It's just totally opposite. You know, LeBron James has the mindset that it's cool to make super teams and take shortcuts. And as John Stockton said, instead of grinding your way to the top, you hop on a helicopter and you fly to the top. You take the easy way out. Michael Jordan didn't believe in that. He didn't go about his business like that. If you grew up watching Michael Jordan like I did, you understood the journey from the beginning, the humble beginnings with in the mid 80s, where there was nobody there at Chicago Stadium. It was half empty, and he didn't have good teams, and the teammates wasn't real good, and they was drinking beer and smoking and on drugs, and he started out from the bottom and he slowly worked his way up to the top. I talked about this on a previous video, the whole David Falk thing, and that's the reason why Michael Jordan's career and his journey is so relatable to the common fans, especially fans from that time period, because that's how we grew up. So LeBron James' mindset of taking shortcuts and stuff like that, no. If you're a true Jordan fan, it's gonna rub you the wrong way. That's the reason why it rubs me the wrong way. I have zero tolerance for super teams. Super teams is shortcut and cheating the game. I have more respect for players that never won a title. Guys like Karl Malone, John Stockton, Patrick Ewing, Reggie Miller, Charles Barkley, and others. who grinded it out. Most of those guys stayed in one spot until late in their career. Karl Malone was with one team until his last year. He went to play with the Lakers. Charles Barkley was with Philly all those years. He got traded to Phoenix. He grinded it out there. He tried, couldn't win. And then after he's past his prime, he went to the Rockets and then he retired. You know, Reggie Miller, his whole career with Indiana. Patrick Ewing, most of his career with the Knicks. I know later on he played for Seattle and Orlando, but he was washed up then. But, you know, I have more respect for those guys who did the best they could and never won than LeBron James' 4 championships where he cheated the game. He cheated the game. And so Michael Jordan never cheated the game. So you're going to have a fundamentally difference there. Load management. I know people want to put it on Greg Popovich started load management. True. Greg Popovich did start load management, but when he did it, he was not abusing it. And he only did it for his older players like Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, these guys who had already played for years. And, you know, he would do it sparingly. He wasn't doing 23, 24, 25-year-olds, sitting them out in games and stuff like that all the time like they do now. LeBron James is the one who started load management where he started abusing it, cheating the fans, you know, making it okay to be in your prime and in your youth and, oh man, I'm tired, man. I ain't tripping on the fans, man. And we need to shorten the season and all this old type jazz. Michael Jordan wasn't like that. I don't know how many years Michael Jordan, I think he played 8 or 9 years where out of the 12 or 13 in Chicago where he played all 82 games. And a couple other seasons, 80. And I think one was 78 or something like that. Like, Michael Jordan didn't believe in cheating the fans. He appreciated the fans. He appreciated them spending their hard-earned money to come see him play. That's the reason why he went out there and performed. What did he say? He never knew if somebody came to only see him one time. They only had money to see him play one time. And so he wanted to make sure that one time they seen him, he gave his best effort. That don't mean he always gonna play well, but he always gave 100%. And he didn't cheat the fans. LeBron James, his mindset is not like that. He wants the season spread out, no all-star break, and all this other extra time and stuff like that, and still only want to play 55, 60 games a year, but get paid full time like he playing all 82 games. You know, just the fundamentally different mindset is just totally different. You know, LeBron James, as far as his game, he never really improved over the 22 years he's been in the league. He pretty much has played the same way since he got in the league. The only thing LeBron James has improved on since he got in the league is he's become a better three-point shooter. And he's more of a streak three-point shooter, high volume. That's because it's such a high volume this era. But the other aspects of LeBron James' game, he's never really improved. I don't care nothing about the stats. I don't care anything about him being an all-time leading scorer. That's just longevity, playing in a very soft era. But he's never really made any major improvements in his game. Is he a good mid-range shooter? No, he's been a poor mid-range shooter his whole career. Has he improved on his post-up game? No. The same garbage. LeBron James pretty much do the same thing. He do that stupid dribble. He look down, he step back, shoot a step back three. He has somebody come set a screen for him and switch over to a smaller guy, and he run him over, you know, for a layup or a dunk. And if he start driving and they come double team, he kick it out to a shooter, you know, for a three-point shot. Michael Jordan, on the other hand, he was different. Every year he worked on improving different aspects of his game. Michael Jordan early on in his career wasn't a great, mid-range shooter. But if you follow his career, you see that by later on in his career, mid parts of later on in his career, Michael Jordan became one of the best mid-range shooters of all time. He worked on his game. He worked on his footwork. He improved his post game. 3-point shooting. People say, oh man, he couldn't shoot no threes. Yeah, he could. In the 80s, they just did not have a high volume. They didn't emphasize that. But when Michael Jordan needed to shoot threes, he was a decent 3-point shooter. And there was years where he shot really well. I know one year they moved the line up a few feet or whatever, but still, Michael Jordan constantly worked on his game and improved different aspects of his game. LeBron James didn't. So I just, LeBron James' whole mindset and how he approaches the game, and really, that translates over into real life. For me, I'm just speaking of me personally, I could never be a LeBron James fan. No. I don't believe in taking shortcuts. I don't believe in the easy route. LeBron James, him and his cronies, they tear down players of the past to try to uplift him. Michael Jordan never did that. He always appreciated and gave props and respect to the players before him that paved the way so that he can have the things that he had in his career. LeBron James don't do that. LeBron James tears down his teammates. He tear them down, they get all the blame, when things go wrong. Michael Jordan never did that. Michael Jordan might have got on his teammates in practice, things they messed up on in practice. But in the public, you won't find anything, any interview or any post game or anything where Michael Jordan trashed his teammates in public. Never. I'm not saying he didn't do it behind the scenes in practice, but in front of the camera, he never did that. And there were a lot of times when his teammates disappeared on him and they didn't help him. But he never trashed his teammates in public. LeBron James, he'll do it in a heartbeat. Oh, we top heavy as fuck. We need this and that. Go behind the scenes, try to get Kyrie Irving traded. Send out tweets about Kevin Love, and you at practice with Kevin Love every day. If you got a problem with Kevin Love, say it to his face. Do coward stuff. Just the way LeBron James approach everything. No, man. I'm sorry. I do not believe that a real, true Michael Jordan fan to understand what Michael Jordan stood for can be a LeBron James supporter. I just do not believe it. Not a true basketball fan. Another thing, LeBron James. Some people may disagree with this, but LeBron James bringing political stuff into the sports world. Michael Jordan never did that. I know a lot of people criticize him for that, but as time has gone on, I've said this before, Michael Jordan did things the right way. When you start getting into politics, politics is too divisive. When you start taking sides and start talking about politics, you divide the room. You alienate the room. When you're in business, you're in the entertainment business, you want everybody to come and support you. I don't give a damn what political party they support. You want them to bring their money to come support you and watch you play. You want them to embrace and support your product. You don't just pander to one side, one political side, and alienate the other. The other side is not interested in coming to see your product. That is a dumb move. That is bad for business. I remember back in the day, and rest in peace to him, Jim Brown, the great football player. He had some things to say about Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, and I 100% disagreed with him. He talked about how Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant didn't speak up on certain issues and things like that, And I'm sorry, I disagree with Jim Brown. God rest his soul. R.I.P. I got nothing but respect for Jim Brown. But the way Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan went about their business and left politics and left that stuff out of sports, they did it right. Because, especially Michael Jordan, he understood business. He is a basketball player. He is not a politician. His job is to go out there and entertain the public. And how does he do that? By going out on the court, giving max effort every night. That was his job. He was not a politician. It was not his job to speak about things that's going on in the hood, in the community. That is a politician. You talk to your local politician and your congressman and civil rights activists and whatever. You talk to them about them. You don't talk to no damn entertainer, no rapper, no basketball player, no football player. You don't look for no type of celebrities to handle your everyday issues in the hood. That is for your local politicians to handle that, not a goddamn basketball player. And so LeBron James coming on tweeting and talking about the different presidents and dividing the room and who he support and all that type of stuff, that's not good for business, man. I don't believe, and when it comes to sports, sports need to stay to sports. Competition will sell itself. You don't need to pander to any groups. This is for all the sports leagues. Black, white, LGBT, none of that. There should be no pandering to any groups when it comes to sports. Your job as a sports league is to have good competition, and good competition will sell itself. The sports will sell itself. You do not need to involve politics on any side. There needs to be no pandering to any groups. That is bad for business. When you start pandering, you divide the room. You alienate customers. You don't need to do that. Just do your job, do what you're supposed to do, and that's that. Now, your personal time, you want to do what you want to do and be an activist and help the hood and whatever group you want to pander to in your personal time, in your personal life, no problem. You want to be give away your money to help the less fortunate and stuff like that, that's wonderful, that's great, in your free time. But when it comes to the sports and it's time to play and it's 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock or whatever time it is and it's time to throw up the jump ball, we don't need to be doing no pandering to no groups. Black, white, LGBT, no groups. Just play, compete, do your job. And that's what Michael Jordan did. He stayed out of politics. He did not divide the room. LeBron James wanted to dip into politics and Black Lives Matter and blackity black and F this president, I support this candidate, woo, whatever. Hey man, you can support who you want and dislike who you want. I don't care. But you're dividing the room. That is bad for business. You are a basketball player. If you want to be a politician, retire and become a politician or an activist or whatever you want to do. Retire from the game of basketball, bro. You know what I'm saying? So everything about how LeBron James handled his business, it is totally opposite from Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan grew up with a strong father figure. I can relate to that. I had a strong father figure. That's the reason why he got good values and stuff like that. I'm not disrespecting LeBron James, but nobody knows where his father's at. And I'm not disrespecting his family or his mother or nothing like that. I'm not saying people can't have great lives with single moms, but it's a difference. You can see the difference in how these two men conduct themselves. I'm sorry. It is what it is. LeBron's an immature punk, and Michael Jordan, very mature. Even you go back and watch some of his old interviews when he's very young, you can see the way he talks and he speaks and he conducts himself and he handles himself. That's because he got a strong father figure, strong mother, strong family. Not these broken homes raised by, Anyway, I don't want to get too much in there, but, So, just my thought, man. It's just, Michael Jordan's path is more relatable to, I believe, the everyday common man, especially older fans. LeBron James is the face of the youth. That's the reason why it's such a clash between the older fans and the youth, because the way the youth now has an outlook on life and sports and everything, it's just a clash with the old and how we grew up. It is. We didn't believe in all this nonsense. We never tore down, we never trashed players from the past. We respected legends. We didn't tear down teammates. Even when the teammates played like trash, we didn't tear them down like that. LeBron James fans, they believe in that. They'll throw a LeBron James teammate under the bus quick. Chris Bosh, Kevin Love, Kyrie Irving, Anthony Davis, Luka, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. That's a LeBron James mindset. LeBron James is the face of the youth today. Blaming everybody else, shortcuts, no accountability, no hard work, no improvement, want handouts for everything, want shortcuts for everything. Michael Jordan's mindset wasn't like that. What did he say in that interview on Oprah a long time ago? He said, hey man, I don't believe in these young dudes coming in getting these $100 million contracts without putting in the work to prove themselves first. And that's how it should be. I'm not saying when a player gets drafted, you don't give him some money to help his family or whatever, but to give them a bunch of money where they get lazy, they have no drive, no motivation to get better, that's a LeBron James mindset. Michael Jordan didn't believe in that. That's how the older generation was. When I was coming up, my dad, he didn't believe in giving me shit. I had to go out and work. While a lot of young cats was laying up in the house sleep in the summertime, if I wanted some money, I wanted some new Jordans or some new clothes, guess what? I had to get my ass up and work to go get it. And that's the reason why I have a great work ethic now, because of the values that my father instilled in me at a very young age. I wasn't giving shit. You see what happened with Bronny James? No disrespect to Bronny. His daddy did what he did and gave him a roster spot and all this type of stuff without him earning it, without his talent earning it. Different mindset. You know what I'm saying? Different way of thinking. But that's that, man. It's been long enough. I just wanted to speak on that, man. Fundamentally, man, I do not believe that a Michael Jordan fan, and I am one. Not saying Michael Jordan perfect, anything like that. Michael Jordan's a man just like me and everybody else. He make mistakes, but his whole outlook and approach to the game and stuff like that is more relatable for me in everyday life. LeBron James' mindset and how he thinks and how he approaches the game and stuff like that, nah, that ain't what's up, man. I never agree with that. So to answer the question, no. No true long-time Michael Jordan supporter, I don't think there's gonna ever be a LeBron James fan. You might respect his talent, whatever level of talent you think he got, but to be a true fan of both, no, I don't believe that. But that's that. It's been long enough, man. I'll catch y'all next time.